Hey guys, my name is Kylie Wilson and I will be talking about the creative process discussion. So we're going to start with empathize. So empathize means to, it's like the first process into design thinking, and it allows us to understand a problem from someone else's perspective. So I'm going to go back a little bit to when I was in high school, but we used to do this a lot in yearbook. We would talk about, like the book cover and like maybe a design that we were thinking about. We would always do this as a group. And so like this picture right here, it's like this person, and then this is them thinking together. That's what I got from that. But that's just what it means. It's just to think about someone, like to think about something from someone else's perspective, like to step into their shoes and think about what it means. And then the next one is define. So define is a plan of action. So I'm just going to keep talking about yearbook because that's kind of what all of this relates to, is because it's design and stuff like that. So a plan of action is when we would, think. So we would think of a book cover, and then we would set that into action. So a couple years ago, we did this one, and it said journey, but we capitalized our in the journey, so it was like our journey, and that was like the plan. And then we had like a roadmap at the top of the book, and it was like it was near the gutter, I think. I'm thinking about this correctly, but and it led, like, we had little paw prints, and it led to Abilene. We had like it pinpointed, like right, I think like right in the middle pages of the book, and it was kind of cool. So that was like our plan of action, was to set on this design. And then I don't know if I said that right, is to form an idea. So jumping back to empathize, you would have to think of an idea first. So we would get these papers, and we would write down, what we thought would be great. And I don't know how many volumes we had when I first started, when I was a freshman. But I remember my freshman year, I wanted to do like gold labeling, It's kind of like Wiley was in gold. That's a school I went to. And so like the letters were in gold. It was cool. I don't know. I saw it in one of the books. It was like, I can't remember the volume number, but that's kind of what that means. Is just to think of an idea. The next one is prototype. So an example or a project or of construction. So I recently went to this museum. It was like the Kimbell Museum in Fort Worth, and they had these little wooden structures, and it kind of looked like it was like popsicle sticks, but it was made of buildings, and it was like there were several of them, and they had like little tumbleweed as the trees and stuff like that, but they had these, and it was like the prototypes of these buildings, of these like separate buildings that they built, I think. And it was like the first one was the first one I thought of making, and the second, and then the third, and then the fourth one I think was the actual museum, because that's what it looked like. And so it's just an example, or like a small feature of what you're thinking about. So that's kind of cool. And then the test is the reviews prototype to see if it works. So my dad, and I'm going to jump back into some life back here, but, so my dad, my brother was like in the 4th grade, and my dad built him this boat, and it was the boat based off of that movie called Flushed Away with the 2 rats and stuff like that. But he called it the Jolly Roger, and, you had to make a boat to see if it would float in water, but that was like, so he had to make a small prototype of this boat to see if it would work, and then they had to put it to the test. So that's kind of, like you're just going to test it out. It's like stuff like that. So, but I hope that I defined all of these well. So, see y'all later.